Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English story. Let me tell you something. Life doesn't wait for you. It never has. And it never will. I learned that the hard way. I used to be the kind of person who would say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start next week. But you know what? Tomorrow never comes. Next week turns into next year. And before you know it, you're stuck in the same place, wondering where all the time went. I'm not here to sugarcoat things for you. Life is brutal. It's unfair. It doesn't care about your excuses. And if you're waiting for the perfect moment to start chasing your dreams, you're already too late. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's a lie we tell ourselves to feel better about procrastinating. The truth is, it's now or never. Let me take you back to where it all started for me. I was 25, working a dead-end job and living paycheck to paycheck. I hated every second of it. But I kept telling myself, this is just temporary. I'll figure it out soon. But soon never came. I was stuck in a loop of comfort and fear. Comfort because it was easy. And fear because I was terrified of failing if I tried something new. One day, I hit rock bottom. I was sitting in my tiny apartment, staring at the ceiling, and I realized something. I was wasting my life. I wasn't living. I was just existing. And the worst part? No one was coming to save me. No ferigo moter. No superhero. No lucky break. If I wanted things to change, I had to do it myself. That's when I decided. It's now or never. The hustle begins. I quit my job. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. That's reckless. And maybe it was. But sometimes you have to burn the bridges behind you to force yourself to move forward. I didn't have a plan, but I had a fire inside me. I started small. I took on freelance gigs, learned new skills, and worked 16-hour days. I was exhausted, but for the first time in years, I felt alive. Here's the thing about hustling. It's not glamorous. People on social media make it look easy, but it's not. There were days when I wanted to give up, days when I questioned everything. But I kept going because I knew I had no other choice. It was either this or go back to that miserable life I was living before. And I'd rather die than go back. I'm not going to lie to you. There were times when I failed. Big time. I lost clients, messed up projects, and even ran out of money at one point. But you know what? Failure isn't the end. It's just a stepping stone. Every time I fell, I got back up. And every time I got back up, I was stronger than before. The toxic truth about motivation. Let's talk about motivation. Everyone's always looking for it. Like it's some magical thing that will solve all their problems. But here's the truth. Motivation is overrated. It's fleeting. It comes and goes. You can't rely on it. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what gets you out of bed at 5 a.m. when you're tired. Discipline is what keeps you going when you feel like quitting. I used to wait for motivation to strike. I'd say, I'll start when I feel inspired. But inspiration is a luxury. Most of the time, you won't feel like doing the work. You'll feel lazy, tired, or scared. But you have to do it anyway. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners do the work even when they don't feel like it. Losers wait for the right time. And let's be real, there's no such thing as the right time. Life is messy. It's unpredictable. You can't wait for everything to be perfect before you start. If you do, you'll be waiting forever. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. And figure it out as you go. The pressure of now or never. Living in a now or never society is exhausting. There's so much pressure to succeed, to be perfect, to have it all figured out. Social media doesn't help. Everyone's posting their highlight reels, and it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. But here's the thing, you're not. Everyone's on their own journey. Comparing yourself to others is a waste of time. I used to scroll through Instagram and feel like a failure. Everyone seemed to be doing better than me, better jobs, better relationships, better lives. But you know what? Social media is a lie. It's a curated version of reality. No one posts their struggles, their failures, their doubts. So stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own path. And don't let the pressure paralyze you. Yes, it's now or never. Yes, the clock is ticking. But that doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out right now. Take it one step at a time. Celebrate small wins. And remember, progress is progress. No matter how slow. The importance of sacrifice. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to sacrifice. There's no way around it. I sacrificed a lot to get where I am today. I missed parties, skipped vacations, and spent countless nights working instead of sleeping. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Here's the hard truth. You can't have it all. At least not all at once. If you want to build something great, you have to give up something. Maybe it's your free time, your social life, or even your comfort. But that's the price you pay for success. And trust me, it's worth it. The power of mindset. Your mindset is everything. If you think you can't do something, you're right. If you think you can, you're also right. It's all in your head. I used to have a terrible mindset. I was always doubting myself, always second guessing. But I realized that if I wanted to succeed, I had to change the way I thought. I started telling myself, I could do this. Even when I didn't believe it, I said it anyway. And over time, I started to believe it. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you want to change your life, start by changing your thoughts. The reality of success. Success isn't what you see in the movies. It's not a straight line. It's messy, chaotic, and full of ups and downs. There's no happily ever after. Even when you achieve your goals, there's always more to do, more to learn, more to achieve. And that's okay. That's what makes life exciting. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm closer than I was yesterday. And that's what matters. Success is a journey, not a destination. So enjoy the process, embrace the challenges, and keep moving forward. Final advice. If there's one thing I want you to take away from my story, it's this. Don't wait. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Life is short, and time is precious. You don't know how much of it you have left. So stop wasting it. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for tomorrow. It's now or never. And trust me, you don't want to look back one day and wonder, what if? Take the leap. Do the work. And don't look back. You got this. Let's pick up where I left off. I told you about the hustle, the sacrifices, and the mindset shift. But what I didn't tell you is what happened after I decided to go all in. Because, honestly, that's where the real story begins. The grind, the glory, the moments that made me who I am today. The grind. It's not sexy, but it's necessary. When I first started, I had this romanticized idea of what success would look like. I thought it would be all fancy coffee shops, sleek laptops, and Instagram-worthy moments. But the reality? It was messy. It was chaotic. It was me sitting in my pajamas at 3 a.m., staring at a screen, wondering if any of this was even worth it. The grind isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It's waking up early when you're tired. It's working late when you're drained. It's saying no to parties, to Netflix, to lazy Sundays because you have a goal to chase. And let me tell you, there were days when I hated it. Days when I wanted to throw in the towel and just go back to my old life. But here's the thing about the grind. It's where the magic happens. It's where you build discipline, resilience, and grit. It's where you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. And yeah, it's hard, but nothing worth having comes easy. The loneliness of the journey. One of the hardest parts of chasing your dreams is the loneliness. When you're on this path, not everyone will understand. Some people will call you crazy. Others will try to pull you back down because your ambition makes them uncomfortable. And then there are those who just won't get it. They'll say things like, "Why are you working so hard? Just relax." I lost friends during this time, not because of fights or falling outs, but because our priorities were different. They wanted to hang out and party. I wanted to build something, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Sometimes, you have to outgrow people to grow into the person you're meant to be. But the loneliness can be brutal. There were nights when I felt like I was the only person in the world who cared about my dreams. And in those moments, I had to remind myself why I started. I had to dig deep and find that inner fire that kept me going. Because at the end of the day, this journey is yours and yours alone. No one can walk it for you. The toxic side of hustle culture. Now, let's talk about hustle culture. You've probably seen it all over social media, the rise and grind posts, the no days off mentality. And while there's some truth to it, there's also a dark side. Hustle culture can be toxic. It can make you feel like you're never doing enough, like you have to be working 24/7 to be successful. I fell into that trap for a while. I thought that if I wasn't working, I was wasting time. I skipped meals, ignored my health, and pushed myself to the brink of burnout. And you know what? It backfired. I got sick, both physically and mentally. I realized that hustling isn't about working yourself to death. It's about working smart, not just hard. So here's my advice: hustle, but don't lose yourself in the process. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, and remember, rest is not laziness. Rest is necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. The turning point. After months of grinding, I finally started to see results. Small wins at first, a new client, a positive review, a paycheck that was slightly bigger than the last. But those small wins added up. They gave me hope. They showed me that maybe, just maybe, I was on the right track. And then came the turning point. I landed a big project. It was the kind of opportunity one had been dreaming of, but it was also terrifying. I didn't know if I was ready. I didn't know if I could handle it. But I took it anyway, because at that point, I had learned to embrace fear. I had learned that fear doesn't mean you're not ready. It means you're about to grow. That project changed everything. It opened doors I didn't even know existed. It gave me confidence, credibility, and a taste of what was possible. But more than that, it taught me something important. Success isn't about luck. It's about preparation meeting opportunity. And if you're not prepared when opportunity knocks, you'll miss it. The glory. What success really looks like. Let's talk about success. What does it really look like? Is it money? Fame? Recognition? For me, success is freedom. It's the freedom to do what I love on my own terms. It's the freedom to wake up every morning and feel excited about the day ahead. It's the freedom to say no to things that don't align with my values. But here's the thing about success: it's not a destination, it's a journey, and it's not always what you expect. There are days when I still feel like I'm not doing enough, days when I doubt myself, days when I wonder if I'm on the right path. And that's okay. Success doesn't mean you stop struggling. It just means you're struggling for something worth it. The lessons I've learned, looking back, I've learned so much on this journey. Here are a few lessons that stick out. You don't need permission. No one is going to give you the green light to chase your dreams. You have to take it. Failure is feedback. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Consistency beats talent. It's not about being the best. It's about showing up every day and putting in the work. Your circle matters. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not tear you down. You're stronger than you think. You have no idea what you're capable of until you push yourself. The final push. So, where am I now? I'm still grinding. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And I'm still reminding myself every day that it's now or never. Because the truth is, the journey never ends. There's always another goal to chase, another mountain to climb. And that's the beauty of it. If you're reading this, I want you to know something. You have what it takes. You have the power to change your life. But it's up to you to take the first step. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop making excuses. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about what you do. So, what are you waiting for? It's now or never. Take the leap. Do the work. And don't look back. Your future self will thank you. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care, and see you next time.